Hi viewers, this is J. Swami, Assistant Professor of Zoology. Today we are going to discuss the digestion. As we know, all the living cells and the living organisms they require more and more amounts of energy for their daily work. This energy is not only for the work, for their survival, growth, and the perpetuation. And the energy should be available for the organism to work and to regulate the homeostasis of the body as well. Whatever it may be, the organism, if it is unable to produce the energy, and thereby there will be a disturbance in the homeostasis of the organism, and finally the death occurs in the individual. All the plants are autotrophs, whereas the animals are heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means they depend on others for their food material. All the animals they consume the food through the holozoic method of nutrition, holozoic method of food consumption, and they obtain energy. Based on the collection of food, all these heterotrophs are divided into three main categories. Those animals which feed on plants and their products, they are known as herbivores, and those which feed on other animals, they are carnivores, and those animals which feed both these plants and plant products, animals and animal products, they are known as omnivores. The humans, the man is an omnivore. Then how the individuals they take the food material and how it will be digested, we will discuss later on. Today we are going to discuss briefly about definition of digestion, types of digestion. They are intracellular digestion and the extracellular digestion, and functions of the digestive system. So these four topics we are going to discuss in this class. Daily we will take some sort of food material, either in the form of vegetables, fruits, and cereals and other grains, and so on, and also fish, meat as well. Now, whatever you consume the food, that will be in large size, that possess large size, it is unable to diffuse into the cell, and thereby the organisms require and adapted to form a particular system which can degrade all these large substances into the small substances. How much small? The large particles, large substances, they will be degraded into as small as they should diffuse into the cell. The cell is a very minute structure, and thereby all these food particles may not enter into the cells, and thereby there is no production of the energy. So in order to facilitate it, all the macromolecules, large food substances, they get degraded with the help of the enzymes, digestive enzymes, and they will be made into small micromolecules which are easily diffused into the cell. So that they have developed a particular system which is known as digestive system. The function of the digestive system is the digestion. The function of the digestive system is the digestion. Then how we will define the digestion? Digestion is a process where we will take the components like the carbohydrates, proteins and the lipids as our food material, and all of them they are in the form of complex substances. We should remember all of them are in the form of complex substances. All these complex substances they are hydrolyzed, they are get degraded, converted with the help of the enzymes into simple molecules. What are the simple molecules? Those molecules which can easily diffuse into the cell. Which can easily diffuse into the cell. They are nothing but the simple molecules. Complex substances we are eating, they will be get degraded into simple molecules through the catalytic activity of the enzymes. Catalytic activity of the enzymes. So this is known as the digestion. That is, the complex substances get converted into simple substances which are easily diffused, otherwise absorbable into the cells through the catalytic activity of the digestive enzymes. This phenomena is known as digestion. What happens in the digestion? The enzymes they can cleave, divide, collapse the chemical bonds in between among the molecules of a large food substance. For example, hydrolases are the enzymes. Hydrolases are the enzymes which can hydrolyze the food material. Which can hydrolyze the food material. Hydrolases. They hydrolyze the food material, so that the phenomena of the digestion is also known as the enzyme hydrolysis. That is also known as the enzyme hydrolysis. In the digestion, the digestive enzymes they degrade food material and make them into simpler forms which are easily diffused into cells, which are easily assimilated into the cells. So that here the enzymes playing a major role and vital role in the hydrolysis of the food material, so that it is known as the enzymatic hydrolysis or enzyme hydrolysis. And thereby all the complex food particles they undergo enzyme hydrolysis and get converted into simple substances. They will easily assimilate and absorb into the cells. And at the end of the digestion, what is going to happen? If you observe the food particles, here we have the complex substances and simple substances. Complex substances which we will eat in the form of carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. At the end of the digestion, carbohydrates get converted into glucose. It is a monosaccharide. Otherwise, this is polysaccharide. Carbohydrate is a polysaccharide. It is get converted into a simple form of monosaccharide, usually glucose. And the proteins, primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary structures of proteins are there, which are made up of amino acids. All the peptide bonds broken down and they formed into amino acids. These are the building blocks of the protein. If you observe the lipids, finally they get divided, they broken down their ester bonds, and finally they formed into fatty acids and glycerol. Fatty acids and glycerol. So that is, at the end of the digestion, what happens? All the complex substances they form into their respective simple molecular forms. These simple molecular forms they are easily diffusible or absorbable or assimilate into the cells. So this is the digestion. And The digestion may take place within the cells, otherwise exterior to the cell. Based upon the location where actually the digestion taking place, based upon that, the digestion is of two types. Intracellular digestion, that is within the cells. This is a cell, within the cell digestion takes place. Extracellular digestion, for example, this is a organ which is made up of cells, and here it is a lumen cavity. So if the digestion takes place here, that is intracellular. So it is taking outside of the cell, exterior to the cell, not within the cell. So there is a lumen or cavity, otherwise a space just outside the cell. That is known as the extracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion usually seen in protozoans like amoeba, paramecium, euglena, and the cells of the sponges also show intracellular digestion. In coelenteраtes is a very very important question in the examination point of view. In coelenteраtes, both the kinds of digestions are seen. Both intracellular and extracellular digestions are seen. So this is also one kind of example for the intracellular digestion. Whereas in the extracellular digestion, it always takes place in the organisms which have alimentary canal, otherwise a gastrovascular cavity. In those animals we find out the alimentary canal or gastrovascular cavity, they exhibit extracellular digestion. They exhibit extracellular digestion. For example, the platyhelminthes, nematohelminthes, free living organisms of the platyhelminthes, nematohelminthes, annelids, arthropods, and those which have the gastrovascular cavity or the alimentary canal, they exhibit the extracellular mode of digestion. Then see the intracellular digestion. What happens in the intracellular digestion? We will take into consideration an amoeba, how it shows the intracellular digestion. For example, here we will see a food particle, otherwise a organism prey, and thereby with the help of the pseudopodia, it slowly capture the organism and engulf the organism, and around the organism it forms a vacuole which is known as the food vacuole. It's known as a food vacuole. This food vacuole mixed up with the lysosome, otherwise the vacuole which consists of hydrolytic enzymes like proteases, nucleases, glycosidases, lipases, phospholipases, and thereby finally this food vacuole, the contents of the food vacuole, they will be get digested, and the digested food get assimilated into the body, into the cell, and undigested food that will be sent out through the excretion. That is, the engulfed food made into a vacuole which is known as a food vacuole mixed up with the lysosome, and thereby the entire food material will get digested food absorbed into the cell, assimilated into the cell. Undigested food should excreted to outside. Okay, here also we will see here there is a phagocytosis of the particles, and thereby here we will see there is a few, this is a phagosome, food vacuole type phagosome. This phagosome combines with the lysosomes, and the lysosome digests the food material, and the digested food assimilated into the cell, and the undigested food that will form residual bodies, and that should excreted outside through exocytosis. Okay, otherwise we will also see here endocytosis of certain material and thereby fused with the lysosomes. Okay, this lysosome digests the food material, right, and then finally that residual bodies they exit out through the exocytosis process. Then some of the cells of the vertebrates like the antigen presenting cells or phagocytes, they also show the intracellular digestion. They engulf a food particle and thereby formed into food vacuole. Here there is a fusion of lysosome and the food particle. The digested food is get digested and assimilated into the cell, and undigested food will sent out. So like this, the cells of the vertebrates also exhibit the intracellular digestion. The major steps which are involving in the intracellular digestion are formation of the food vacuole, as and when the organism ingests the food, that will made into a food vacuole, first thing, and then fusion of food vacuole with that of the lysosome. This is the food vacuole and this is the lysosome, and thereby the entire food material will be get digested, and the digested food assimilate into the cell, and the undigested food that forms the residual body. This residual body sent out from the body. In some of the cases, what is going to be happen, the residual vacuoles may not sent out but remain within the cell unless the organism or cell is survive, and such a kind of excretion is known as the storage excretion. Generally undigested food should be sent out. In some of the cases, in special situations, the residual bodies or residual vacuoles, they will remain in the same status until the organism survives. They will be stored. Such a kind of phenomena is known as storage excretion. This is all about the intracellular digestion. Come to the extracellular digestion. What happens in the extracellular digestion? Extracellular digestion means, here if you see, there is a alimentary canal which starts from the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. So the entire it is a tube. It is a alimentary canal. Now this alimentary canal, see here, this is the esophagus, enter into the stomach. This is not at all intracellular. It takes place within the cavity of the stomach. So here the cells are lining the cavity. It is not taking place in the cells itself, but there is a lumen or cavity is there outside the cells. Digestion takes place there, and the cells which are present in the integument, otherwise the body wall, they secrete various enzymes. Okay, these enzymes are responsible for the digestion of the food material, right? That is, they convert the complex substances to the simple substances, and thereby the digested food get absorbed into the cells again. Usually in the small intestine there are microvilli which absorb the digested food material and assimilate into the blood. This blood carries food material and supplies to the cells, so that These micromolecules or digested food particles are as small as they can cross the plasma membrane of the cells, right? And thereby there will be a digestion takes place outside the cells, outside the cells. Okay, then what happens in the extracellular digestion? There should be the availability of the gastrovascular cavity, otherwise the alimentary canal, first thing. And the integument of the alimentary canal or gastrovascular cavity, they secrete enzymes into the lumen. The enzymes may be gastric enzymes, pancreatic enzymes, like that. Okay, then what is the use of the extracellular digestion? If the cell is this much, okay, if the cell size is this much, but the organism can engulf this much large particle, the organisms can capable to consume large particles. This will be degraded into small particles, and the small particle may enter into the cell. This is the use of the digestion. Then, and the alimentary canal, the cells of the alimentary canal, the cells of the alimentary canal. So this is the part of the alimentary canal, and these all are the cells which make the stomach and alimentary canal. They get differentiated, and due to the division of the labor of the cells, finally these cells get modified into, they have given a choice into form the different kinds of tissues and as well as the organs. The cells of alimentary canal undergo differentiation and division of labor, and thereby they formed into, modified into various tissues and organs which are majorly help the process of digestion. Then see the extracellular digestion in the human beings. The alimentary canal of the human beings always starts with the mouth, and ends with the anus, right? And in between this we will see mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and the anus. This is alimentary canal. Alimentary canal along with its accessory digestive glands. Digestive glands in the sense the salivary glands, liver, pancreas, gastric glands, intestinal glands, all of them collectively called as the digestive glands. So alimentary canal along with its accessory digestive glands is known as the digestive system. So alimentary canal provides the space for the digestion, that is extracellular digestion, and the enzymes they released into the lumen cavity of the alimentary canal, they degrade, they catalyze the complex substance into the simple substances. All the simple substances get absorbed into the small blood vessels, and the undigested food that will be released out, excreted out through the anus. That is, the digestion takes place outside the cells of the stomach, outside the cells of the alimentary canal. Hence it is known as the extracellular digestion. Majorly the digestive system of the human beings that performs 6 different functions. 6 different functions. First one is the ingestion, that is consumption of the food material through the mouth. Consumption of the food material through the mouth is the ingestion. Secretion of enzymes, buffers, acids, and the mucus into the lumen of the alimentary canal. And propulsion is pushing of the food material through peristaltic movements or peristalsis, pushing of the food material into the next regions through special kind of movements which are looking like the waves. They are known as the peristalsis or peristaltic movements. Then digestion, that is the large food particle get degraded into small particles through the mechanical and chemical methods. Mechanical and the chemical methods, the small particles which are formed, they are absorbed into the lumen. Then the absorption, for example, this is the small intestine. In the small intestine we will see microvilli. These microvilli absorb the food material. These microvilli absorb the food material, and here there is a capillarization, and that enters into the blood capillaries, reaches different kinds of organs and cells. And finally, undigested food material, that is excreted out through the anus in the form of fecal matter or feces. That is nothing but the defecation. Right? These are the steps which are involving in the digestion. Otherwise, digestive system plays a major role in performing all these 6 functions. Generally, not only the carbohydrates, proteins and the lipids, okay, but also vitamins, minerals and the water also. They are the part of the components which we will ingest daily, but they do not need any kind of digestion. What are they? Vitamins, minerals and the water, they do not require any kind of digestion. Right? Then what happens? They do not provide energy also, but they play a major role in performing different kinds of functions. All the vitamins, they act like coenzymes. Vitamins, they act like coenzymes in various metabolical activities. And the minerals, they act like the cofactors. And as we know, the universal solvent, the water, is providing the aquatic medium for the proper catalytic activity of the proper execution of the activity of the enzymes for various metabolical activities, so that it requires the nutrients. Right? Then if you do not take appropriate amount, otherwise a balanced diet, due to the deficiency of the carbohydrates, we may fall under kwashiorkor, and due to the lack of proteins, marasmus, and due to the deficiency of the iron and B12, we may get anemia. Due to the deficiency of vitamins like the B vitamin, beriberi, deficiency of the A vitamin, that is xerophthalmia, deficiency of the D vitamin, osteomalacia, rickets, like that. So there is every possibility to get various kinds of disorders and diseases due to the imbalanced diet. So that we should go for balanced diet. Right? So in daily life, we should take below 30% of food material in the form of fats. We should go for unsaturated fats rather than the saturated fats like the ghee. Right? And the trans fatty acids should be rejected purely, like the dalda, vanaspati, and we should go for fruits, vegetables, cereals, grains and other food material. And the salt should be taken not more than 5 grams per day, and sodium not more than 2 grams per day. So these are the requirements of the diet. So this is all about digestion That is what we have discussed today. The definition of the digestion, types of digestion, intracellular and the extracellular, and their respective examples, and what kind of digestion takes place in the human beings, and the functions of the digestive system of the human beings. Thereby, we will conclude this topic. Thank you one and all.